Good morning, everyone. Lucy Gray here. We are starting another training session today. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody is here, so I'm going to go through this information very quickly, and hopefully you'll watch the recording. You should have received a link to this schedule this week, and I'm going to share my screen and show you what that looks like. And this is what it looks like. This is the schedule. It's GLOW 2025 presenter schedule final. Um, and it's different than previous years. We have three tabs at the bottom of the spreadsheet. The first one explains in English what you need to do. The second one explains it in Spanish. And then the third one has everybody's information on it. So it's important that you go into your room and practice ahead of time if you're in a session room. If you are on stage and you want to practice, you need to book a session with me using my Calendly link that's located in several places in the toolkit. So that's the first thing you should know. So this is how you find your name and your time zone and your room link and important reminders. Not every time zone is available, so just be aware of that. So in the spreadsheet, you're going to go to your session info, and depending on what device you have, um, for me, it's Command F because I'm on a Mac. Your search window will pop up and you can put your name in and it will show you how many times you're mentioned. So for Christina, our Spanish coordinator, she's presenting two times and her name's in there twice. So this will highlight where her name is mentioned. And then I can scroll over and see that she's presenting on Thursday, November 20th at 8 a.m. Eastern. If I want to see it in Universal Time, I can scroll over. That's 1 p.m. UTC. And we have some other, she's in Argentina, so that's 10 a.m. her time. We've put some other countries in here just to give you a sense of where it is time-wise. If your time is not here, you need to use timeanddate.com to do time zone conversions. When you log into Ring Central Events, it should show you the schedule in your time zone according to how your computer is set. So she's presenting on a stage. She clicks here, and she'll go into the stage studio. So that's how the schedule works. Um, Back on the start page, and by the way, these links do not go to the public. They have to go in through the front of the conference platform. These links let you get in early so that you can practice ahead of time in your room. So do not give these to the public, please. Uh, so then some important reminders. You should, on the day of your presentation, get into your session room 10 to 15 minutes early to test your technology and make sure everything's working. Have your presentation in a separate tab ready to go. Um, um, uh, Again, don't give these links to the public. Remember to close any unnecessary programs and tabs in your Chrome browser ahead of time. If you're able to use a wired connection or a really steady internet Wi-Fi connection, please do so. There's also a pre-event check here that you should run ahead of time to make sure you don't have to do this every time, but make sure that this will check to make sure that your browser, mic, and webcam and sound and streaming is all up to par to use Ring Central Events. So make sure you try that. The toolkit is here, and there's a link here to this schedule that you can that's in case you need it. This is the toolkit. If you've not seen this, it's been sent several times and it has all the details you could ever think of in here, and I do update it occasionally. So this gives you the lowdown on the conference depending on whether you're a presenter or volunteer or um, featured speaker. Important links has a lot of the really important links that you may need quickly. The link to registration, to the proposal form, which you don't need right now, that sort of thing. And there's a link to the slide template. I don't know if there's a Spanish copy yet from Christina, but here is when you click on that link, it's going to ask to make a copy of the slides in your Google Drive. And you can go in here and you need to use the first couple of slides. You definitely need to include the sponsor side. See how it says required here at the bottom. But you don't have to use everything else that's in the middle necessarily. It's nice if you do a check-in at the beginning of your presentation to see where people are coming in from. And at the end, you do need to use the last couple of slides about session recordings, um, uh, feedback, joining our community, and here are some graphics that you can use. You don't necessarily need to include this slide. If you want to change the colors or anything like that, that's fine. If you want to put your own slides in between, that's totally fine. We recommend using something that's web-based for your presentation as opposed to a standalone PowerPoint. You can do that, but it leads to some complications. And there's a link in the toolkit that explains how to present with PowerPoint. So, and that is right here, how to share slides on RingCentral events if using PowerPoint. So if you're using PowerPoint, use that. Here's a copy for Google Slides. You can also use Canva if you want to and import these slides into Canva. There are training sessions on Wednesdays. Right now, it's the first Wednesday in November, and at 9 a.m. Central. There's also a training tonight. Here are graphics for you to use. Again, these are templates, and they'll open them up. They'll open up in Canva for you, and you can edit them as you see fit, and add your name and that sort of thing in your picture if you want. All of our actionable innovations information's here. And then there is a Spanish page here. I don't necessarily update this because I don't speak Spanish, but I did translate this when the page was first done. And Christina can probably answer more questions for you in Spanish if you need help. Also on the toolkit, you'll see there's a presenters section that's important. It has training recordings in here. You are required to watch one or attend a live training session. There are also step guides that will lead you through how to do things, and there's technical information as well. So these are some things that you should probably read. We also want you to, and there's a presenter's checklist just to make sure that you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Um, Promotion. Again, oh, we do have a copy of the slide template in Spanish here. We have graphics that you can use again. There's a flyer here that you can pop out and share through email and social media. It is translatable. If you want to issue a press release through your school or something like that, here's some copy for you. There's also some sample social media posts that you can copy and post and personalize for yourself. If you want to send an email to friends and family and have them come, you can use this text, or edit it as you see fit. But there's lots of content here that you can use without having to reinvent the wheel in general. If you have not seen this, we have a WhatsApp group. You don't have to join these groups, but if you need to get a hold of us during the conference quickly, this is the best way to go. So make sure that you join the WhatsApp group if you want to stay in touch with us. The directory I need to update in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. And then we have the Spanish pages below here that hopefully Christina is customizing for our Spanish language speakers. So, in terms of logistics and that sort of thing, let me go over my presentation with you. So welcome everyone, and thank you for being part of this conference. I'm so excited about this year's Glow. We have a wide variety of presentations that will be useful to people in all aspects of education. We hope that you'll come, and if you're a teacher, you'll get ideas on how to infuse global competence and educational technology into your curriculum. If you're an academic working with teachers and teacher prep programs, I hope that you'll find some connections to other people working in similar programs um, and some ideas for improving your program. If you are an organization leader, I hope that you'll get some ideas for your organization from the ones that are presenting and maybe possibly form some connections for collaboration. So, um, why is my camera all goofy here? Oh well, I guess it's working. So anyway, um, so that's are some of the goals I have for you. And um, oops. And I hope that you have a great conference experience. And these slides, which are linked in the toolkit, there are some um, important dates and times and links that you can click on in terms of some of the things I talked about earlier. You are really essential to the success of this event. If we want lots of people to come, we all have to join in and promote the conference. I'm a one-woman show essentially. There are other people helping, but I can't do everything, and I'm trying to promote as much as possible. But I also need you to connect to your network and share that this conference is coming up and that it's free to attend live sessions and low cost if you want the recordings. Um, so your outreach efforts really impact the attendance on this. So please consider promoting. These are some of the resources that are available to you that I've already mentioned, including the conference flyer, which has built-in translation capabilities. Um, but please try to get out the word as much as you can in the next few weeks. This has been our promotional timeline. We're really in step 3 and step 4 right now. Please be creative with your social media posts. Maybe use TikTok, Instagram, that sort of thing to tell people what your presentation's about and how they might benefit if they come to it. Um, and that sort of thing. You also might want to send emails to listservs or other networking groups that you belong to. I use Facebook and LinkedIn groups quite often to mention the conference. I also recommend seeing if your school or organization will issue a press release or mention you on social media that you're presenting. That's another way to promote. Here are some more sample social media posts depending on your goal. You can adapt these however you see fit as you're posting to social media. In terms of the technical setup for the conference, I highly recommend that you use Chrome as your browser. If you use Safari, you will have problems. I'm not sure about Edge and Firefox. Recommended software, we recommend that you use Google Slides or something web-based um, that works well in Chrome. And I already kind of went over this. It is also incredibly important that you enable your audio and video in Chrome in your privacy settings. If you do not do this, you will have issues. This has been the number one problem over the past couple of years, and it's a privacy issue on your end that you need to enable. So make sure that you've configured your camera and your microphone. These are the directions on how to do it. And make sure that that you're visible and can be heard on the platform. There are two different kinds of presentations that are going on, quick 20-minute lightning talks, um, and 50-minute general sessions. We've added a 10-minute buffer in between sessions so that people can go to another one. right before or after. I mean, right before, right following. So please try to keep within those time limits so that people can get to the next sessions uh, if they so choose. Everything will be recorded, by the way, and we'll publish the recordings as soon as we can. They'll be available for all attendees during the 2 days of the conference and then just for paid attendees post-conference. Session rooms, most of them are set to be moderated. If you ask for an open room and you don't want it, let me know. Um, Open rooms don't have the same features as moderated rooms in terms of like breakouts and that sort of thing. So you may want a moderated room. You can still let people on your stage in a moderated room, but you have to approve them. Um, so these are some of the features in mostly in moderated rooms. Um, New this year is a tab called Docs where you can upload your session. If you have slides or a handout for attendees, you can share that content in the material sharing tab in your session room or in your stage room. Um, there's Q&A, there are breakout rooms. Not stages do not have breakout rooms. Interactive polls, live chat, and you can upload your own background. In the presenter toolkit, there's also some sample backgrounds that you can use if you want to have a different background. Stage presentations are featured in keynote speakers. We have to put you on stage. So if you want to practice, um, you need to let us know so that we can get you on stage. Our Spanish track is also on stages as well. So um, if you want to practice, contact Christina for Spanish track. If you're a featured or keynote speaker, contact me, and I can meet with you for a few minutes to make sure that everything's okay. This generally has worked really well for us. Um, so I don't anticipate a lot of problems. You do want to get into your stage session, 15, 20 minutes ahead of time so that we can get your slides uploaded and that sort of thing. In session rooms, there's automatic recording, meaning every time you turn on your audio and video, it starts recording. We can cut these and edit them pretty quickly now. There's some improvements in that area. So it's not the end of the world if you're in your room um, practicing ahead of time. It helps if you do turn off your audio and video and then turn it back on right before you're going to present so that we have a nice clean recording. But we can also edit on the back end as well. As soon as you turn off your audio and video, afterwards, the recording will stop, and then we can process your recording. So you do want to leave the room, or at least turn off your audio and video after your session, so that it can be processed. We will give you a link to a folder with all of your recordings within the week or two after the conference, and you can download your own presentation and use it however you want to. So just be aware of that. In terms of design, and be aware that you're presenting to a global audience where English may not be their mother tongue. You want to kind of keep your visual design simple. You don't need a lot of transitions and fancy things like that. Avoid cultural idioms, acronyms. If you are going to use that kind of terminology, you may want to explain it. But here's some tips on designing your presentation. Next. Um, Before you present, promote your session, practice in your room, test your technology, make sure you're in your room early. Um, in terms of engagement strategies, think about how you're grabbing people's attention in both lightning talks and general sessions. Um, you can you don't have to include a poll every 10 or 15 minutes, but a poll here and there is very helpful, gets a sense of people, whether they're being active or not. Save your last 10 minutes of your presentation if you're in a general session for Q&A. If you're a lightning talk person, maybe 5 minutes for Q&A because it's a much shorter presentation. So there is a Q&A tab if you want people to put questions in there, be specific about it. instead of having to look through the chat for any potential questions. There will be moderators hopefully coming in and helping. They do not introduce you necessarily unless you ask them to do that. They usually are there just to make sure that you're in your room and that you're all set up and ready to go. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you're speaking clearly and slightly slower than in person. Vary your tone and pace without it, so people don't fall asleep. Um, and make sure you're looking in the camera. And that's always my trick. I'm always looking at my slides instead of my camera. And so I don't look like I'm looking at the audience. So you might want to practice with that a little bit. In terms of screen sharing, which I'll show you in a minute, um, you want to share a tab, not your window or screen. It just makes a bundle of difference in terms of the quality of your presentation. You don't want to have a lot of tabs and things open that are extraneous, so make sure those are closed. Turn off the notifications on your device and on your phone, by the way, so we don't hear it in the background. Can also turn off your notifications, the sound of them in RingCentral events if you don't want the sound when we make an announcement or something to pop up. Um, and make sure that your slides are in the presenter view mode, so that they're full screen, and keeps moving your slides at an appropriate place. These are some common challenges. If there are technical issues for people leaving the room and coming back, sometimes solving it, running the pre-event check. Some of these things may be connection issues. If you're presenting and have connection issues, I highly don't recommend presenting from the app or on your phone or mobile device. I know that can't be helped in some situations, but really you want to be presenting from a computer if you can. Um, if your video is, if you're having issues with like a lag in the sound and that sort of thing, turn off your video and just present with audio, and it may improve the connection capabilities. With the audience, make sure that you're engaging in the chat. Um, if you want to follow up with people with difficult questions, you can set up a meeting on our platform afterwards with them. If somebody's disruptive, there is a reporting mechanism. You can hover over their name and report them to RingCentral and myself. You can also send me a message if there's a problem. We rarely have problems. Um, but you can also in your privacy settings say that you don't want to be contacted by people. So that's under your profile, I believe. So, there are some things here. If you're annoyed by people reaching out to you and that sort of thing, you can mitigate that. Timing issues. Please try to stay within the time limits. Again, try to wrap things up quickly. If you finish early, have some questions for the audience, and that sort of thing. So these are just some tips on how to handle things if things go wrong. Here are the interactive tools at your disposal. I mentioned them earlier. Use the tools that are in your session room or in your stage. Do not use the event polls. There's an event tab. There's an event docs tab. Those are for the event organizers for the whole kit and caboodle. Use the ones that are in your session room. Here's a checklist of things to do on the day of your presentation. These are just some tips on making sure that your session it goes as smoothly as possible and as professionally as possible. After your session, you may want to follow up with people who've contacted you. You can, again, schedule a meeting for further discussions on our conference platform. We'll send you information about a certificate of participation and the recordings within a week, hopefully, and help us grow by sharing conference highlights and your experience with other people and encouraging people to get involved next year. Again, here are some of the support materials that are available to you. Our final tips for success is we want you to have fun with this and not stress out too much. Authenticity matters more than perfection. Engaging with other people people are really eager to connect with you all and to learn from you and to build their professional learning networks. So, think about how you're promoting that for others and for yourself. This is impactful for teachers, not just in your home country, but across the world. We usually have 90 or so more countries represented in our attendees. So just know that you're doing a really good thing by being part of this conference. Here's our final checklist um, of things that you can do. And that's it. That's our orientation in terms of logistics. Now, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and I'm going to show you what a session room looks like so that you understand how to present in that. And it'll take me a minute here to bring up our session room for that we use for practicing. And here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. And you should see this is what it looks like when you log into the conference. And uh, you may see something at the beginning that asks you to fill out your profile. That's your personal profile. I don't fill that out for you. I fill out your speaker profile. Make sure that you keep your personal profile up to date too. So this is the front page. We call it the reception page. It's the icon with a little house on it. There are stages here. These are the session rooms. These say test run before the conference is live, if you're wondering. And during the conference, the session rooms that are going on only show. So, like an hour before they start, they'll pop up here. Otherwise, people can find information about them in the schedule. Networking, we have got speed networking. You can search for people, make connections. Um, the expo is where our booths will be for our sponsors. There is dedicated time for our sponsors um, on both days of the conference, and they're eager to meet with you. If you click on their booths, they have content here for you to watch ahead of the conference. Replay is where recordings will be. We have to process them and publish them, so it may take us a while to do that on the day of the event. And then on the reception page, we have the schedule, we have sponsors information, which you can click on and go to their website, and we have speaker information. And you can connect to people here and look at their website and sometimes in their case, their Twitter feed. So this is the information that is here. You can also click on, I think you can click on their profile. Well, you can find them over on the right-hand side under people, and you can send them a direct message if you want to, send them a note. That's one way to contact them if their information's not there. So that's our homepage. So on the sessions page, we have a practice room somewhere, and I don't know where it is, but I may have deleted it actually. I'm going to go into one of our session rooms and just use it as a practice room for right now. So when you come into this as a presenter in a moderated situation, if you're in an open room, you're not going to have this. You're going to be able to join the stage. You'll have an eyeball here that shows you how many people are watching, and there'll be a session tab. You're not in the event tab. You shouldn't be in my agenda is like your schedule. And the session tab is the chat, polls, people, Q&A, and docs for your session room. So this is where people will interact through chat, where you might have some polls. You can see who's in your room. People can use the Q&A queue to ask questions, and you can announce Q&A, and you can upload documents that you want to share with your audience to the Docs tab. Under Welcome to the Session here, you'll see where you can join the stage. I'm not going to do it right now. On the left-hand side, you'll see tools for, it's like a lightning bolt, and this will not happen for open rooms, by the way. Breakout rooms, moderation. If somebody is asked to be on stage with you, you can say yes or no here, whether you allow it or not. So there's you can still have people turn on their audio and video. It's up to you to approve them though. Um, you can have a session banner that pops up for, a couple minutes or longer, with links to your website or important resources. Attendee engagement tools include confetti, emojis, raising hands. You can turn them off here if you find them annoying. And then layouts for however you have your slides, and how your video appears with your slides, basically. So the other button here is a share menu. You can share your screen or a YouTube video. I'm going to share my screen and use my slide template here. What you're going to do is, instead of sharing a window or the entire screen, you're going to share a Chrome tab and the tab where your slides are located. Click on share. Make sure you have the audio tab shared if you're using audio. Click on share, and it takes you to your tab with your slides in it. So here are my slides, right? Notice that in the upper left-hand corner, it also makes a note sharing this tab to app events ringcentral.com, view ringcentralevents.com, and then I can also tab back to my slides. So this is what it looks like when I'm moving the slides, okay? And this is what it looks like for the attendees. And I can look at the chat here and check in periodically. So you can toggle back and forth between these. It's really, really important. And notice that I'm in full presentation mode with my slides. If I didn't do that, you'd see my slide preview here, and it just looks unprofessional. So make sure that you are in presentation mode when you're sharing your slides. And you can just move forward like this and then click back here to see if there are any comments or anything in the chat. And that doesn't switch the view for anyone other than you, just is to be clear. When you're done sharing your presentation, click on stop sharing. Um, what I just didn't do is I'm going to go back to my room. And my room is here. Um, it's not recording. You can tell because there's no red dot in the upper right-hand corner. It's not recording because I haven't turned on my audio and video. I just shared my screen. So nobody could hear anything if they were watching this session until I join the stage. When you join the stage, you can check which camera and microphone on your computer you're using. I use an external microphone, so I would switch to my Instalink one, and then I could turn on my video. I could turn on my audio, and I can also switch to a different microphone if I want to do that. So these are some other settings. You can mirror your video, which I don't know if you really need to do that. You can touch up your video and give it a soft light. And when you're all set, you apply the selection and you're in your room. Okay. And I'm not looking at my camera, so I'm looking at the screen, so it's going to be a little disconcerting here. You'll see in the upper right hand corner that you can stop sharing your audio and video. You'll see your name tag down below. And then you can practice with different layouts. I'm going to share my slides again. And you can see my slides. And right now, the view is the layout is fill. If you want to crop it and have your picture bigger, if you're, I think, probably a solo presenter, that probably works well. If you want to spotlight the speaker, which I think will make the person bigger if there's a group in there, or floating, we'll put your picture at the bottom somewhere. And then cinema mode lets you present your slides full screen like this, and your audio can still be heard, so you can talk, but you're not going to be visible on screen. I think most people usually go with fill, but it's up to you which one you're comfortable with. And you can play around with it under your tools and layout. You can turn off your camera. This does not stop the recording, by the way. See the red recording button up here is still going. Um, you can go back to your settings and use that. And I've also been told that Command D will bring up those settings as well. Here's a share menu where I can stop sharing, or I can stop sharing at the top of my window. I can do emoji reactions, raise my hand. If I have a question, I can go full screen. And there's closed captioning, which I really recommend for people who especially if people who are learning English, it helps so that you can see the conversation in addition to hearing it. So that's a personal setting that if I click on this, it doesn't enable it for everybody. It's just for me. So I'm going to turn that stuff off there. And then when you're done with your session, stop sharing your audio and video, and the recording will end. Okay. Anyone who's still in the room that's sharing their audio and video, if they don't turn this off, the recording will continue. So this is how you do it. And I'm going to stop sharing my slides, and the recording is now stopped, as you can see here in the top right-hand corner. If you need more screen real estate, you can collapse the window on the right. Again, remember to be in the session tab, use the polls, people, Q&A, docs under session tab, not the event tab. This is for the whole kit and caboodle, for the whole conference. Okay, I'm going to go back to the reception tab, which is the main area. And I just want to show you a couple things here. Under event dashboard, under this, you have direct messages, notifications, and you can edit your profile and share your interests. You can also control your privacy settings. If you don't want anyone to contact you, uh, make sure you do organizers only. Okay. Um, you don't have to do that. It's up to you. It's your personal preference. So I'm going to get rid of that. Um, and then if there's somebody who's bothering you or you need to report for some reason, you hover over their name, I believe. And there are three dots, and you can mute the person for yourself or block them or report them, and I'll get a notification. So if there are any problems with people, which we typically don't have, um, you can do something about it. That's it for now. Thank you again, everyone. I'm excited for 2 weeks from now. It's going to be a great conference. We have so many interesting presentations from all over the world. And if you can't make it to all the sessions, that's okay. There are recordings to watch, but it really helps if we have people in the rooms cheering everybody on. So let's try to get as many people as we can into our rooms so that we feel like we're presenting to an audience. It's really important that we all share that responsibility. Thanks again, everyone, and I hope this session was helpful. Have a good day. Bye bye.